Okay, so now we want to focus on this part, 声调. Okay, 声调. Let's see a little bit about 声调. So, 声调 actually is a kind of feature of Chinese language. Maybe some of you already know this. Chinese language is a tone language. Maybe this is a very different from your mother language, right? So you can the Chinese language have tones, which is a kind of feature of Chinese language, and which maybe unfortunately make the Chinese pronunciation a little bit challenging for foreigners to learn, right? And also, do you know how many tones are there in Chinese language? Anyone knows? Okay, so there are 4 tones in Chinese language. So we say this is the first tone, 一声. Okay, please try to read after me. 一声, the first tone. And 二声, the second tone. 三声, the third tone. 四声, the fourth tone. Right, so there are 4 tones together in Chinese language. Okay, and there are different marks for each tone. It's written this way. So for the first tone, 一声, it is written this way. It's high and flat, it's level, just a kind of level, a line. Okay, and the second tone, 二声, is written this way. It's kind of up. It's an up level. It's up line. Okay, upcoming line. Okay, and third tone is kind of in this way. It's lower down and then it's up. It's going up. Okay, so this is the 三声 mark. And the fourth tone, 四声 mark, is like a down. Okay, it's from beginning here and then it's down. So this is the different marks for the 4 tones. Okay, so now let's get a kind of impressions about how does the 4 tones sound like. How does the 4 tones read like? Okay, so let's make example. Initials plus finals. So here initials, we choose this letter M. Maybe now we don't know how to read it. It reads as M. Okay, it's M. And this finals, we choose this letter A, which is read as R. Okay, so this is M plus R, initials plus finals. Okay, so we can try to read under the different tones. So initials, M, finals, R, and together with the 4 different tones, the first tone, second tone, third tone, and the fourth tone, it is read in this way. Please try to read after me. Ma, 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 ma. Okay, let's read again. The first tone, second tone, third tone, and fourth tone. So it sounds like this, in this way. So please try to read after me. So learning pronunciation at the very beginning period of learning pronunciation. So mimic is very important. So you use your ear and you try to read after what you hear. Okay, so practice again and again many times, and you can learn the pronunciation of a new language. Okay, so let's read again. Ma, 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 ma. Okay, again. Ma, 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 ma. Okay, so this is the 4 tones in Chinese language. And the tones are very important to Chinese language. And one reason is that it can be different syllables with different tones. It can have different meanings. Okay, so this is why tones are so important in Chinese language. For example, this ma, 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 ma. You know, the initials and the finals are all the same, right? All the 4 syllables, they have the same initials and the finals. The only difference between them are the tones, right? This is the first tone, second tone, third tone, and the fourth tone, but they have different meanings, completely different meanings because of the different tones. Okay, so the first tone, ma, means mother. Okay, and second tone, ma, means sesame, right? And third tone, ma, means horse, and the fourth tone, ma, means to abuse, to curse, which is quite different, right? So please do not make difference. Please do not make mistakes in reading Chinese tones because it could have different meanings. If you want to say mother, you read as ma the first tone, read as ma. The mother could be a horse, which is a terrible mistake. Okay, it's a kind of joke, but I want to tell you that the pronunciation, when you learn at the very beginning to learn Chinese pronunciation, please pay attention to the Chinese tones and please learn carefully of the Chinese tones. That will be a very good habit of learning Chinese pronunciation. Okay. Okay, so let's continue with the initials of lesson 1. Okay. So the initials for lesson 1 will be these. It's already listed here. So please try to read after me. There's a kind of short note for these initials when we learn initials. Actually, initials are consonants. If we have some knowledge of phonetics, we know that consonants does not make sounds, right? A consonant does not make sound. We cannot hear a consonant. If we read as a phonetic way to read these initials, it's soundless. We cannot hear it. So for practice, we should hear the initials. So when we practice these initials, actually we already add a vowel to each initials. For this one, it's like a p. We cannot hear it, right? But when we practice, we add an O to it. So it's read as a bo. So it can be sounded, right? Add a bo. So for this group, we add a bo. And for this group and this group, we add a to these initials so that it can be sounded, it can be heard, okay? Okay, so now let's read the first line of the initials. Please try to read after me. Bo, po, mo, fo. Okay, let's read again. Bo, po, mo, fo. Okay, second line. De, te, ne, le. Okay, again. De, te, ne, le. Okay, the last line. Ge, ke, he. Okay. Ge, ke, he. Okay. So in all the 3 lines, so there are minimal pairs of each group. For example, the first line, this bo and the po, they are like minimal pairs. Because the only difference between bo and the po, you can feel the air coming out through your mouth. For the first one, bo, there's even no air coming out from our mouth. It's like a bo. And this one is a po. So for po, you can feel there's stronger air coming out from our mouth. Okay, so this is the difference between bo and the po. Bo and the po. And similarly, for de and te, they are the same. De, there's no air. There's no air. For te, there's like a breath, air coming out from our mouth. Okay, so this is de, te. And this one the same. Ge, okay, no breath out, no air out, okay? And for ke, stronger breath out and stronger air coming out from our mouth. Okay, so please feel it. Bo, po, de, te, ge, ke. Okay, good. So this is initials for lesson 1. Okay, let's continue with finals. Okay, finals is like more than initials in this lesson. So the first line, you can see these single letters. This is the most basic finals in Chinese pronunciation. Okay, the most basic one. Okay, so let's try to read this first line. A, wo, i, u, ü. Okay, let's read again. A, wo, i, u, ü. Okay, so let's try to read on the different tones, okay? the first line. Let's try to read on the different tones. So we add the first tone, second tone, third tone, and the fourth tone to each one, and we read it in this way. Okay, so ah, 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 ah. Okay, this one. 我 我 我 我 一 以 以 u 五 okay, 鱼 语 okay, from the second line you can see there are more letters, right? 2 letters at least. So it looks like it's kind of double vowels, right? This is single vowels. There's only 1 letter. And this one, like this R and the E, so they are together make like a double vowels. It can be seen this way, but please note, different from the English double vowels, the Chinese like double vowels sounds much more shorter in time because it's kind of small combinations. It's like a R and the E, they combine together, make a combination. So when we read the R and the E, we do not read like English double vowels. It is not like in this way. It's not like I. It's not R and slide to E. There's no slide. R and E. It's not I. It's a combination. So please remember, always read as a whole. Okay? Read as a single vowel. So it's R and this one, R and E combined together, read as I. Okay? Again, I. And this one, A, O, O. Again, I, A, O, O. Okay, good. So this one is not a and a, it's not a, it's not double vowels. It's a read as a whole, as a like a small combination. So and E, there's no slide in between. It's now sounds longer or read longer than the single vowel. It's read as a whole. The time, the duration we read it, they are completely the same. So this one is A and A. Okay, and for these 2 groups, they are nasal finals. Nasal finals. So for this one, we say it's a front nasal finals. So this is a kind of a block in the front part of your mouth. So it will read as an. Okay, you can feel it. An. You block your mouth, and then the air have to coming out through your nose. So it's an, and this one is n, in. Okay, let's read again. An, in. Okay, so compared to this group, this one, each one have like a G by the end. So this is a final nasal finals. Okay, this is a back. Sorry, this is a back. This is a back. Nasal finals. This is the front nasal finals, and this group is back final nasals. So there's a kind of black in the back part of your mouth, and you block it in the back part of your mouth, and the air, the breath, have to coming out through your nose. So that's why it makes a nasal finals. So it's written this way. This one is in, on. Okay, let's make a comparison between them. This is one. This one is the front. Okay, an, on, in, on. Okay, and the last one. This one is quite special, right? This is the When you read by the end, you make a quick curl of your tongue. So this is right? And when you read it, you make a very quick curl of your tongue and make a small combination. It reads as a again, Okay, so now let's do the tones again. Okay, so we read it this way. For each one, we read as first tone, second tone, third tone, and the fourth tone. Okay, so again, from the second line, right? I, a, o, o o o o an 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 n n n n in 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 ang 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 ing 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 on好 for this one there's no first tone. Let's read r and for the first tone you can feel it, the pronunciation changed a little bit. That's also why this one is very special. Okay, so for this final there's no pronunciation under the first tone. Okay, so let's read as second tone, third tone, and the fourth tone. When we read the fourth tone, there's a kind of change in the pronunciation. It's not it's r. So you open your mouth wider. Okay, let's read again. R. Read again. R. Okay. So anyone knows the meaning of R, the last one? Okay, R means two in Chinese. Okay. And now let's make some, let's do some practice of Pinyin. Okay. So we know Pinyin is like initials, finals. Sorry, there's a mistake. Tones. Okay. There's like a typo mistake. So initials, finals, and tones. So makes a Pinyin combination. Initials plus finals plus tones. So they combine together to make a combinations. So which is a Pinyin syllable, right? So now let's make some practice. So we choose initials. How to read it? Remember? The, right? This is the. And finals we choose a, right? And we read under the fourth tone. Okay? So make a Pinyin combination. How to read it? Da, right? Da. Okay, so this is the, initials the plus final a, and read under the fourth tone. So let's read together. Da. Okay, da. Next one. Initials ge, finals on, and read on the first tone. Okay. Gong. Let's read together. Gong. Okay, next one. Initials ne, finals e, third tone. Okay. Initials ne, finals e, and read under the third tone. How to read it? Ni. Okay, ni. And the last one. Initials he, finals on, and read under the third tone. How to read it? Hao. Okay, so these are the Pinyin combinations. And of course, for each syllables we have Hanzi, Chinese characters prospectively. So Hanzi will be written this way. So this one is Da, Gong, Ni, Hao. Okay, Da, Gong, Ni, Hao, which means hello, D-O-T. Okay, so Da Gong is abbreviation for Dalian University of Technology. Okay, 大连理工大学打工。Okay, so this is a Pinyin.